Mic check 1 2 1 2. It's the Y2K collector, and it's just not fair. Or at least that's what I get in my comments whenever I talk about some of the video games and or consoles that I find at some of my local GameStops. And it is true. It seems like GameStop is not distributing the wealth evenly. For some reason, there are parts of the country where when you walk into GameStop, they've got nothing but Skylanders games. But then there are other parts of the country where when you walk into a GameStop, you actually do have some solid options, not only for retro games, but even for modern games, Switch games, PS5 games, and even PlayStation 4 games still. But I wanted to talk about a couple of games and items even that I ran into when just casually going by one of my local GameStops. I actually had to pick up dinner the other day, yesterday, as a matter of fact, and I swung into GameStop and said, "Well, let me see what they've got going on." Now, typically, whenever I see games on the shelf, like PlayStation 2 games, or whenever I see like a retro game that I don't typically see on the shelf at a GameStop, that's usually an indicator to me that a few items have come off trade hold, and I usually will then ask if they have anything in the drawers, anything behind the counter, anything that just has not been put out yet. Just because, like I said, a PlayStation 2 game is an indicator that items have come off of trade hold. And so when I did that, they wound up letting me know that they had a few items in stock. One of them being this very, very crispy and in good condition DSi XL. Now, I have a few of these DSi handhelds, but I've never had a DSi XL. And what really kind of pulled me into picking this one up is how large and bright the screens are. I do have a new 3DS XL, but I think this DS DSi XL is actually bigger than that one, if I'm not mistaken. The screen at least looks bigger. It may not be bigger, but it looks bigger. It also has a pretty nice form factor. It is a larger handheld when it comes to the DS handhelds, and I think that larger form factor does make it easier and more comfortable to play certain games like Mega Man X Zero that you see displayed on the screen here. And so I thought it was a really cool opportunity to pick up a DSi XL. This isn't a handheld that I would go searching for, but the fact that they had one in store, I was able to use some points, some coupons, and then obviously get some points back for buying it. Is an added incentive to pick it up in the store. I mean, additionally, this thing looks like it has not been dropped at all. There is one like hairline scratch on the top of the console, but overall, I mean, the console itself was in really good condition. And condition matters to me, being a collector. One of the things that I look for a lot, especially with these handhelds, is I'll look at the sticker on the back, because the sticker is usually a good indicator of wear and tear. I mean, these stickers are white, so when the console itself has been through a lot, water damage, things like that, these will usually be discolored, weathered, wrinkled, and this one looks really pretty much intact. So I would say that this handheld got minimal use, if any use at all. In fact, the scratches that are on the top of this console probably came from the poor handling of GameStop employees, to be quite honest with you. So I was shocked to see this in the store. Another game that I was shocked to see, because I picked up a few games, but I'll only show you two. I actually got some footage while in the store, and I'll be using that for a video this weekend. I keep saying that I'm going to make a video for the Y2K crew, and then every time I do, just life happens. Work has been crazy. The kids have been crazy. But the year has come. It's what are we, 6 weeks into the new year, and I still haven't put something together. So I know I owe you guys a video. I'm gonna work on it. Be patient. I appreciate it. But I'll show you another game that I picked up, and that is Shadow Hearts for the PlayStation 2. Now, I did post this on my community page yesterday, just kind of letting the Y2K crew know that this was something that I found at a GameStop, and a few of you wanted to know how much it was. And this game was actually, I think, about 35 bucks was what they had it going for. Now, it is complete in box. The manual is actually in pretty good shape, and the disc is almost scratch free. Like, shout out to GameStop on this one. I was shocked to find this one. But yeah, 35 bucks for this game is actually a pretty good price. This game goes for anywhere between 75 and 85 bucks. So that's 50% off on this game. And the cover art was in great condition. The manual's in good condition. Disc is excellent. I just did a case swap on this. Yeah, I just did a case swap on this just because this the case that it came in, it had some stickers on it and stuff like that, and I didn't want to deal with pulling the stickers off and trying to get the sticker glue off. So I had a spare PlayStation 1 case, which worked perfectly, and I was able to just do the case swap there. So now I pretty much have all three Shadow Hearts games: the Shadow Hearts Covenant, Shadow Hearts, the one that was done through Midway, and then this Shadow Hearts game that's done by Xseed. So it's kind of weird that all three games were done by different publishers, I guess. And maybe I can do a video on that, just what the differences in gameplay are. But I knew when I saw this that this was one that I had had on my radar a while back, just not one that I'm willing to like pay retail price for or go and try to buy on eBay. But the fact that they had it there for 35 bucks was really good for me. And then the DSi XL wound up coming to about roughly 70 bucks, which is pretty close to market price for this handheld. But again, condition, the fact that it came with the stylus, and the fact that it also came with the charger was one of the reasons why I went ahead and grabbed it. But one of the things that a lot of people wonder, and this is the main reason why I'm making this video, is I'm trying to figure out where GameStop is getting their inventory from in 2025. Is it from people trading in video games, or do they truly have a massive warehouse stacked with all types of retro games that they're just slowly drip feeding out to stores across the country? That's a very interesting concept, and I do have my own thoughts and theories on it, based on my shopping experiences with GameStop and conversations that I've had with different employees. Now, I think overall, GameStop obviously does have a warehouse of retro games, but I do think that a lot of the games that they have in their warehouse are pretty much the same types of games. They're the same games that you see on their website all the time. So like Mario 64, Donkey Kong 64, Mario your kart racing, some certain GameCube games like Super Smash Bros, Melee, and there are certain games on the GameStop website that you always see. No matter how many times people buy them, they're always there. So I would assume that GameStop has a huge stockpile of certain games. They've got them in large quantity. And that's really going to be a lot of your N64 games, your Wii games, your certain GameCube games. They do have those in high stock. I do think that in the warehouse there probably are like rare and niche titles, like maybe random Super Nintendo games like a Mega Man X2 or Batman and Robin or Mega Man X3. They might have some random Game Boy Advance games and things like that, but I think those are few and far between. And I genuinely think that those games only pop up when someone who's working in the warehouse finds it, like randomly finds a box with like, oh shoot, did you know that we had this copy of Silent Hill here? Yeah, let's put it online. So I feel like that's what happens from a warehouse perspective, because a lot of the games that I've gotten from their warehouse are pretty much the same run-of-the-mill, like typical, Nintendo games. Now, when it comes to the stores, I think certain games are traded in stores, and those will be the ones that are usually like the condition on those are typically mixed. And typically that's where you're going to see a lot more of the rare or uncommon games. For instance, like some examples would be like I picked up a copy of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure for the PlayStation 1 at a GameStop. I think I saw a YouTuber, they wound up picking up a bunch of rare Sega Saturn games. Like in those instances, those will definitely be cases where, people come in and trade their games in. But those are not like an everyday occurrence. And that type of situation is a situation that you just have to be like right place, right time. So, what I would say for anyone who's looking to leverage GameStop is if you're looking for like some of those, major AAA retro titles from Nintendo, GameStop's website is a good option there. But if you're trying to find some more of the niche stuff, you probably just have to check your stores, check a number of different stores, and then also just keep your eyes on their website for when those items do pop up, because they do pop up, but they're just few and far in between. I'm thankful that my area does get a good selection of games, not only from the warehouse but also from people trading in. But I do think that GameStop probably could do a better job of drip feeding the games from the warehouse and kind of spreading the love a little bit more evenly, so everyone has an opportunity to take advantage of these games. But let me know what you think down in the comments. Do you think that the wealth is spread evenly amongst GameStop stores, or do you think that the games are just really concentrated in certain areas? I'm interested to know your thoughts, and I'll catch you in the next video. It's the Y2K Collector. Take it easy.